Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and, well, anything about movies. And hey, if you're not a movie lover and you're just listening to this for the very first time, maybe I can convince you to be one. That's my whole job here, folks, is to convince you on what's out there in this land-wide universe of movie news, trailers, and reviews, and I'm here to just give it to you straight. Give it to you real, as they say. That slogan is pending. I'm not going to use that just yet. So, how you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? I haven't talked to you guys in a week. Like I said, last week was awful. I really do apologize, and there's really nothing I could have done about it. It's just I was in the hospital, and there was shit beeping everywhere, and I was having to rush it. If you guys heard it last week, it was pretty bad. But I mean, I'm back in my room now. That's where I record these things with my microphone, so everything's all good, guys. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to coddle you to sleep. That sounded really creepy. I'll ease your thoughts when you're driving to work or whenever you're listening to this. So, on today's episode, guys, episode 75. 70 fucking 5 episodes, man. You guys realize I'm 25 away from hitting that big 100, man. One butt cheek. One butt cheek. It's crazy, guys. I really didn't think I was going to make it this far, and you guys are the ones that kept pushing me, and you guys keep listening to it, and there's a lot of you guys out there that really just like listening to this, and it's weird to think about, but I mean, I really do appreciate all of you. So if you guys would like to follow me on Twitter to get in the conversation live, if you're listening live, it's at Real Chase Lee, R-E-E-L, Chase Lee. So, guys, let's get this started. So, this is a pretty packed show, and I also don't know where to begin. There's a lot of news to talk about. There's a lot of trailers that dropped, and then I'm going to do my review of the title of this podcast, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Now, I saw this at Dallas International Film Festival, and it was the last movie I saw before I got pretty much put in the hospital. And so there's a reason why I left it out last week, is because I wanted to talk about it this week. There's really no new releases that came out, and so I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. You guys know what looks good and what doesn't. So I was like, this is kind of a dead week. I'll go ahead and review Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, because it's one of those movies that's just so fantastic. You guys got to check it out. So let's start with the news. Now, you guys are probably all thinking, what am I going to get to first? The Joker pick, or, my thoughts on the whole Robert Downey Jr. Robert, so it's like Downey and Jr. Robert Jr., get your ass over here. No, Robert Downey Jr.'s interview, and the interviewer that was basically a fucking douchebag. I'm not going to refer to him by his name. I'm just going to say he's Fuckbag McGoo from Channel 4 in the UK. So when I get to that story, but I'll start with some lighter news, and then I'll get into my rant towards the end. So, Vin Diesel was at CinemaCon, just kind of chilling, family. That was awful. I have kind of a cold right now, so, I could kind of do the Vin Diesel right now, but at the same time, I can't, because no one can. Unless your balls are, literally dropped so far from your dick that they're just kind of waving on the floor. That's the only way you can get your voice that low. So, Vin Diesel's at CinemaCon, and, he's very charismatic, and he comes on stage, and he's like, hey, Fast and Furious 8 is coming April 24th, 2017. That's less than 2 years from now, which is crazy, because today's April 26th of the recording of this episode, so, 2 days ago would have been 2 years, so it's crazy that it's coming less than 2 years. I'm okay with this. There's nothing wrong with it. And I did a whole podcast on Fast and Furious 7. You guys know my thoughts on it. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of my favorites of the series, if you will. So them coming out with the number 8 does not surprise me. Guys, it made $1 billion in 3 weeks. You'd be pretty fucking dumb if you were Universal and you were part of that head team and you were just like, guys, listen. I know you all like money, and I know you all like smelling it and sticking up your assholes every night, and, protecting it while you sleep, but I was thinking, maybe we should just stop after 7. We don't need any more money. Said no one fucking ever. Guys, when it makes $1 billion in 3 weeks, do you really think that Universal's going to, hesitate to pull the trigger on an 8th installment? No, they're gonna like announce that thing as soon as possible. Now, am I surprised that they didn't announce it sooner? Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Maybe they just want to kind of see how far they would go before they hit the billion. But them announcing number 8 is not surprising. It's one of my favorite guilty pleasure series out there right now. So I mean, I'm okay with it. Hey man, make them entertaining. And you know what? For number 7, there was a lot of emotional moments in there to where like they were actually like doing really good things with that series. So it's not like it's all. I mean, most of it is cheese. I'm not gonna lie, but there's a lot of there's some lean cut in there somewhere. It's not all fat. So I mean, number 7 was a good send off, but you'd be dumb not to make it number 8. So them making it number 8, 2017, I'm pumped for it. I'll be there opening weekend, just like I have been for the past 4 of them. So I like all 7 of them. So great news for me, and hopefully, if you're a fan of this franchise, good for you. If not, then you probably just stop listening right now. So the next piece of news is that Pan, the movie with Hugh Jackman, it's basically live action Peter Pan, is supposed to come out in July. Now they have moved it to October. Now I don't know why I sound like a drunken lordsman at a manor somewhere. October. It's moving from July to October, you little fuck. It kind of makes sense. Warner Brothers is doing this movie, and maybe they looked at it and they were just like, maybe this is not a summer release. Because July is a summer month. And Pan was actually, I think it was either the same weekend or it was around Ant-Man. And I'm not saying Ant-Man's a threat, but there's comic book movies out there. There's a lot more spectacle movies out there. Maybe they just kind of look back, kind of sat back. And they're very plush chairs made out of elephant skin because, they're Warner Brothers. They have that money. And maybe they were just like, what? Maybe October is the best time to release it. Maybe it's not a summer movie. Maybe it's more of a very homey movie. A very, character-driven movie, and it's not all action and explosion and stuff. Maybe they want to get that across and move it to that Oscar season. I don't know. But that's kind of like my speculation on it. And I think they're going to premiere it at the Toronto International Film Festival, and then like a week later it will come out in the October date. So, good for it. I mean, if you guys were really wanting to see this movie, I don't think you should be worried with them pushing it back a few months. Now, if it was like a year and a half, yeah, you could worry about it a little bit. It's not Jupiter Ascending or anything where, they probably wrapped up filming 5 years ago and, they pushed it back 800 times. No, you shouldn't be worried about it if you were a fan of seeing this movie. You just gotta wait until October now. So, I'm kind of indifferent on it. I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I mean, I kind of want to see Hugh Jackman in really terrible black hair wig and beard and act all crazy. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? So that's that piece of news. The third piece of news is that Star Trek Beyond. You're just like, what? What the fuck is that? Star Trek Beyond? That doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, I'm a Star Trek fan. No, Star Trek Beyond is the speculation of the new title for the third installment of this franchise that was rebooted with J.J. Abrams, and he kind of had to leave the project for a little movie called War Stars, and so they are continuing without him. I mean, he's producer on it, but that could mean many different things. That could mean that he was filming Star Wars, and they would call him every so often, and they'd be like, "Hey JJ, is this okay to put in the third one?" And then JJ's like, "Yep, sure is." He's like, "Thanks, producer." Hang up. So I mean, we don't know what his title is, but he is labeled as a producer. So the news is out there that the rumor is that the third one will be called Star Trek Beyond. I like it. It kind of just gives you that sense of like wonderment and like adventure that this crew is going to go on. They're really going to go like far and beyond, like further than they've ever traveled before. So I dig it. I mean, I like it. I'm not a hardcore Star Trek fan, so sorry to disappoint you out there. But I like the reboots. I didn't really care for any of the TV shows or the. Sorry guys, I might be coming over, like having a cold or coming over a cold, so you might hear some sniffling. I will try to limit that. But I didn't really care for the old movies or the television show, but I really liked what J.J. Abrams did. He kind of... It was almost like you find that dead piece of roadkill on the road and you take it back to your laboratory and Frankenstein that bitch and you make it move again. Like, that's what J.J. Abrams did. He took something that had a dying fan base and he put some adrenaline in it. And they turned out to be really funny movies. I love the first one. I love the second one. They were just highly entertaining movies. So I'm looking forward to the third one. And calling it Star Trek Beyond, that just makes me even more excited. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the new title? I think it sounds pretty wicked cool. So, next piece of news is that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, it is Phil Lord, right? Sometimes I'm dyslexic and I call him Christopher Lord and Phil Miller, which is weird because that's the character on The Last Man on Earth. But they are the duo behind the Lego movie, 21 and 22 Jump Street, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. These guys are on fire. They can literally do no wrong. So they're being brought on to do an animated Spider-Man film, and it's going to be separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because as you guys know, I reported this a couple weeks ago on the podcast. I'm not saying I broke the news, but I mean, like, I reported it to you guys that listen, that Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios over at Disney, he's been making all the movies up until now, they finally struck a deal with Sony, and they're going to help produce a Spider-Man solo film that will be a part of the cinematic universe. Now Sony's coming out saying they're going to do an animated film. It's going to be separate from the universe. Why? I don't understand your logic. So it's almost like this. It's almost like the producers of all the Spider-Man films up to this point, they're like a little butthurt since Kevin Feige is going to come in, swoop, and probably save this franchise. And they're just like, we're going to retaliate. We're going to do our own Spider-Man film. We're going to continue what we were doing. Well, I'm sorry, but even though you made a lot of money, the majority of your movies still suck balls. So just, that's what it kind of screams out to me. It's almost like it's retaliation for what they're doing for the live action. So they're going to do their own. And I don't know. It just, why? Why do you need two things going on at once? Like, I'm not saying it's going to confuse me, but, the 99% crowd, which is everyone else besides you, me, and everyone else that listens to podcasts and news on a daily basis, they're going to be like, okay, so I just saw a Spider-Man film that was live action, and now here's the animated film coming out a year later. They're going to be like, what the fuck's going on? Like, they're going to be confused. So, I don't like this news. I mean, I like Phil Lord and Christopher Miller as a duo. I really do. I really like their writing style. It's always sharp and witty, and I like their directing. They just make really fun, entertaining movies. And them tackling an animated Spider-Man film is not the problem. I would like to see that. It's just, I think having that going on at the same time as the live-action Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of dumb. Like, you're going to end up confusing people, and it just, you're going to have to, like, distinguish rules and stuff in the animated one and how it doesn't relate to the live-action. It's going to be fucking trippy. So, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, there you go. There's your news for the week. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm looking forward to live action and see what Marvel Cinematic Universe does to it, like how they integrate, this high school kid, having him work along with Iron Man and Captain America stuff. It's intriguing to me. But an animated Spider film, fuck no. Just stop it. But I love Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. You guys are awesome. So, if we're going to be stuck with this shit, I know that they're going to do a good job, so, more power to you. So, the last pieces of news, I'm sorry the news is going on a little longer today, there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. You guys want to hear the Joker pick that came out, or do you want to hear the Robert Downey Jr. interview? I'm going to do that one last because I got some choice words for fuckbag Magoo that gave the interview. Alright, so, I'm at a concert on Friday night, and, I check my phone, and there's a picture up. And it kind of looks Photoshopped. It kind of looks fake. And so I was like, oh, that's cute. Someone made a fan-made Joker thing with Jared Leto's face on it. Turns out, this is the real deal. Now, if you guys have not seen the picture, which I'm assuming you have by now, is basically Jared Leto, shirtless, covered in that white, paint, and he's got green hair. He's got a purple glove on. He's got, his hands running through his hair, and he's screaming, like he's got his mouth open, like his eyes are bulged out. He looks insane. He's got a lot of tattoos on him. One of them is like a ha 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 all over his left nipple. Then he's got like a jester skull. He's got the skull and like a jester's hat on his other nipple. He's got like a smiling mouth on his forearm, which is kind of cool. And then he's got the word damaged on his forehead. Now, holy shit, I have not seen this much controversy on a fucking picture before since The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger and Michael Keaton as Batman back in the 90s. Do you guys, back in 2008, when you saw, and I will say that I was a part of this crowd, when you look at the picture of Heath Ledger, the first ever picture released, and you go, oh shit, it's the guy from Brokeback Mountain in The Knight's Tale? He's going to portray this psychotic character? You guys all rolled your eyes, and I was a part of that crowd. And then when the movie comes out, he's praised as one of the best performances of a superhero movie ever made. That's just the way our nature is. We are quick to judge and attack something. That's just the way we are as human beings, and especially on the fucking internet nowadays. What do I think about the Jared Leto Joker pick? I think it's okay. I kind of dig some of the aspects, but I don't dig some of the others. One, some of the tats, I personally think are dumb. Now, I like the smiling mouth on his forearm because it didn't really click with me until I read online that you know how Batman will put his hand up with his cape or whatever, and he'll kind of disguise himself. I can see Joker doing that to taunt him and kind of put his forearm up in front of his mouth and have that fake smile on his face. And so, hold on. Oh, excuse me, guys. That was disgusting. Yeah, I think I'm coming down with something. So, anyways, I think the mouth on the forearm's kind of cool. It's kind of taunting a little bit. I like the skull with the jester hat on his right nipple. That one looks cool. I don't like the damaged tattoo on his forehead. And now, I don't know if that's going to be on there the entire time, but like it seems like it would be distracting. Now, I don't mind him having tattoos, but when one's going to be on his face, basically, and we're going to be seeing it, that might be a little distracting. I could be crazy. And then the other thing that kind of bothers me is the ha-ha-ha tattoos. It's almost like those were put on there for Warner Brothers basically say, like, hey, look, he's fucking crazy, like we are. Line of coke. Like, it seems like they're trying too hard. And the other thing I don't really like, unless unless this theory is correct, is the grill. Now, he's got a gold grill in his mouth, and now I didn't really think about it until I went on the internet again, and someone, a lot of theories are floating around, and my favorite one was, well, what if, Batman has punched him so many times in the mouth that he's broken teeth or he's lost teeth, and so he has to get the grill. I'm okay with that if that is the true reason why he's got the grill. Now, if he's never been punched by or Batman or whatever, and like he's never met him yet, well, I'm sure he's met him, but like if he's never been punched by him, then that's a problem. Then it just kind of looks stupid. Now, those are my only complaints: is the damaged tattoo on his head, the left nipple with the ha-has everywhere. And then, of course, the grill, if it's not because Batman has punched him in the mouth. Those are my only complaints on it. I really do like the way Jared Leto looks. He looks crazy. Like, he looks psychotic. And it's a different take on the Joker, and I'm open to their interpretations. But it still doesn't negate the fact that this is probably what they should have not done first for marketing on this character. There's a lot of hardcore Batman fans out there. There's a lot of hardcore Joker fans out there. And a lot of people are skeptical of Ben Affleck as Batman. I am not one of them. I have said that from day one that I'm totally okay with this decision. You can even look back on my YouTube channel. I got a video explaining on that day that I was like, I like it. I like this choice. And I've always been on board for Jared Leto to play the Joker. I really have. But maybe Warner Brothers should have had Joker in a suit and kind of covered up his tats. The tattoos do not bother me, but they bother a lot of people, and I think you're going to alienate your core fan base now because there's a lot of people that just really hate the way Jared Leto looks. Now, if you would have released him in a suit, that probably would have been a lot better, and it probably would have gotten them to ease up a little bit. And then maybe later on, show the tattoos. Because the tattoos doesn't bother me. Because they're taking inspiration from two different things. There's The Killing Joke, which is a Joker story. That's a graphic novel. And that's got the infamous picture of, the Joker with his hands in his hair looking all crazy. It's taken from that. And then the Joker actually does have tattoos in certain graphic novels. I think done by Frank Miller. I'm not so sure. I think he was the one that did that, but I could be wrong. But I know because I looked it up beforehand. I just forgot the name. I apologize. But he has had tattoos when he was in jail and stuff. So I'm okay with the tattoos. Just some of them seem either too desperate or just they're going to be in our face and distracting. So other than that I think the Joker pick is okay for now. Marketing-wise, they should have not done this. I am still totally on Leto's side, and I am hoping he knocks it out of the park performance-wise. I've always been on his side, so that's not the problem. It's just, for marketing, you probably should have just had him come out in a suit or something. Just so you wouldn't really piss off hardcore fans. But then again, we're a part of the 1%. 99% of people watching this movie, they probably won't even give two flying duck shits that he's got tattoos, so boom, in our faces. Sorry, guys. I guess I'm coming down with something. That's so gross. I really do apologize. The last piece of news. Robert Downey Jr. was in the UK, along with the other Avengers cast, and there was an interview being taken place, because Avengers Age of Ultron was coming out overseas, and so they were getting all the celebrity interviews and whatnot. And this asshat, this fuck shit, from Channel 4 over there, interviewed Robert Downey Jr. And at first, the questions were, about the movie and stuff. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. But then he starts diving into Robert Downey Jr.'s past. Now, it's not something like where he tried to ask a question and Robert Downey Jr. was not responding or kind of defensive, and so the reporter backed off and got back on track with the interview. That's fine. He tried something new. It didn't work. But here's the deal. This guy kept persisting, and he kept going, and he kept asking about his family and his drug problems and his drinking problems and his jail time. And at one point, Robert Downey Jr. in the interview was like, "What are we doing here, man? This is weird. We're supposed to be talking about the Avengers." And it was really awkward because at first, before he started asking, the kind of the personal questions, his leg was shaking, and RDJ was like, "Listen, if you're too nervous to ask it, don't ask it." And then he proceeds with asking about his past, and Robert Downey Jr. gets up out of the interview, and then he leaves respectfully, takes the mic off, and he's like, "Okay, we're done," and he leaves. If it was me, yeah, I would fucking punch that guy in the face and then stomp his dick in and be like, "That's what you get, asshole." Here's the deal. Because this guy's been in trouble before. When he interviewed Quentin Tarantino for Django Unchained, he kind of did something similar where he kind of got under Quentin's skin, and he just got yelled at. Why do you still have a job? Why on earth are you pissing off people? You're never going to get invited to a junket again from Disney. Period. But if you ever get allowed to go back on and interview a celebrity, why are you messing it up? Interview about them when you have a special on them, or a 60 minutes fucking bullshit. But when it's about a fucking movie, you stick to the movie and you ask questions about the fucking movie and their character. There's nothing wrong with saying you've done you've had a lot of bouncing back in your life from hard times, and so has Tony Stark. Can you tell me about the comparison a little bit? Those questions are fine. But when you go, what was your dad like? And, tell me about your drinking and your jail time. Hey, fuckface Magoo, Why are you asking him about his fucking personal life, you fucking jagoff? Seriously, you give everyone that does this shit a bad name. Every time when I've interviewed a celebrity, I've never done one-on-one. It's always been a round table, so I've always been well aware that there's people around me. But I've never asked personal questions. I've been in part of conversations where other people will ask questions where they are not comfortable and they'll back off, but then they'll stop and ask me another question. That's not a problem. But I've never asked anything that's offensive. I always keep it light and fun, because the thing is, I know these actors are contractually obligated to do this, but they're there all fucking day, and they're answering the same fucking questions. The least you can fucking do to entertain their time is to just come up with a fun question. Make them laugh a little bit. Make them kind of wake up a little bit. And that's what I've done for every single interview that I've ever done. For instance, Let's Be Cops. It's one of my favorite ones. You know, the movie's a comedy, so I was like, well, this is perfect. So I basically, asked a really fun question, and I was like, hey, so what's the sequel going to be? Let's be firefighters, or let's be doctors. And, they went along with it, and they had a fun time answering it. And that's what I like to see, is them having fun. Because when you see them having fun answering questions by the interviewer, then you're going to be more enticed to go see that movie, because it's like, oh, these guys have a fun time doing this. They got to have that chemistry and that fun, ability in the movie. So that's how you want to sell your fucking movie. This is a comic book movie. Ask about the Avengers Age of Ultron. Ask, where's the future in this franchise? Ask really fun, geeky questions. I'm sure RDJ would be all over that shit. But when you start diving into his personal life and start taking fucking atom bombs at his family, then of course he's going to fucking react that way. You fucking shithead. Seriously. If you get a hold of this podcast, I want you to fucking listen to me. You should never, ever be able to interview a celebrity again. You fucking douche. Okay? You're just a fucking asshole for what you did. You should have never done that, and now you're making headwaves, and now people are... you're getting attention. That's what you're doing. But I think everyone should see this, so they should see what a fucking jagoff you are, and second of all, for what not to do when you interview a celebrity. Because you are a bad example, sir. I hope your kids just, yeah, I'm going to attack your family. How does that fucking sound? I hope your kids were ashamed when they watched this. I hope they were just like, ooh, that was my dad. Ooh, that was terrible. I hope your family's a fucking shame, you asshole. Fuckface. God. So bad. Don't do that. God. And what's his name again? I don't know. Just call him Fuckbag Magoo. That's his name. Fucking idiot. Enough of that. Just fucking people like that, man. Just fucking dumb. Alright, so that will wrap up the news portion for this podcast. Sorry, guys, it went a little long, but there's a lot to talk about and stuff. So if you have any comments on the news, or if you want to talk about how Fuckbag Magoo is still, interviewing people and when he should... just go cry and shame, just tell me about that situation. Or what do you guys think about the Joker pick, or, Fast and Furious 8, animated Spider-Man film. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's talk about some trailers. There were 5 trailers that dropped this week, and I will go ahead and start from my least favorite. Well, not least favorite, but more of kind of meh to the super badass. So the meh trailer is another found footage horror film, and it's directed by Oren Peli, who directed Paranormal Activity for $15,000 and made almost $200 million on that bad boy. Now he has launched this whole, kind of horror regime of today's time. So I gotta commend him for that. And I still like the first Paranormal Activity. Actually, check that. I actually liked the first 3. I hated the 4th one, and I actually dug the Mark ones on how it connected everything. I know it's kind of weird to say it, but I kind of enjoyed it. So Area 51, found footage film. They go to Area 51 in New Mexico. Shit happens. It was kind of meh. Will I see it? Probably. But it's not like anything that, or it's like an Insidious, or like a Paranormal Activity, or, a Sinister, or a Purge that kind of gets me excited, or it's like, ooh, that's a kind of a cool idea. It's just a bunch of kids going to New Mexico. It's found footage. Stuff happens. Someone's kind of meh. The next trailer is The Visit, and this is directed and written by Midnight Shyamalama Lama 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 Ding Dong Motherfucker. That would be M. Night Shyamalan. This is the guy behind Sixth Sense, Unbreakable Signs, The Village, After Earth, The Last Airbender, Lady in the Water, The Happening. This guy's notorious. Listen, M. Night. buddy, I like The Sixth Sense. I like Unbreakable. And I actually really like Signs. And to your credit, and I will defend you on this one, I actually really like The Village. I didn't mind the twist at the end. I thought that was actually kind of cool. It's almost like I can see people living like this. So The Village was like the last one I'll kind of defend you on. And I didn't mind Devil. I thought Devil was entertaining, but even though it was just your story, it was just okay. But it was miles better than anything else you've done. Lady in the Water did not care for. The Happening. Guys, I have to do it. Okay, Mark Wahlberg's in the movie, and he's got some pretty corny lines. He's looking at this old lady, and she's like, "What are you doing up? What are you doing?" And he's like, I wasn't doing anything, ma'am. No. Like, it was so awkward the way it was acted and edited. It's so funny. But yeah, that's more of like a comedy. And of course, Last Airbender, nope. And then I did not see After Earth, nor do I want to. So The Visit's more of like going back to his horror roots, where it's like it's kind of like a mixture of a documentary and found footage. This one I'll actually stand as far as like found footage goes, because it's kind of like this really interesting hybrid. I'm okay with it. It's kind of creepy. A couple kids go to their grandparents' house, and random shit starts happening. I mean, I really don't want to spoil it for anyone. It's just kind of like, if you don't want to watch the trailer or you don't even really care, whatever. But I mean, just supernatural kooky stuff happens, and it looks interesting. I'm not saying it looks amazing, but it is produced by my boy Jason Blum. Jason, listen, buddy, I fucking love you, man. Like, you are one of the best producers on the face of the planet right now. You make movies for so cheap, and you are able to profit twofold on these things within a weekend. It's ridiculous. And you're just really smart on how you approach stuff, and like, what's going to hit and what's not, and that's what I really respected about you. Side note, I saw Unfriended today. I really liked it. It was very entertaining. It was very enjoyable. I'm not saying it was the best thing Jason Blum has produced, but it was still entertaining, and I actually really liked the suspense and tension within a fucking Skype call. Like, the guy's genius. Like I said, he knows how to pick his movies. So I was producing The Visit with M. Night, which is, it's kind of cool. I'm glad that like Jason Blum's giving M. Night another shot, because after Earth, and The Last Airbender, it's almost like I don't think anyone wants to give M. Night a shot anymore. So I'm really glad Jason Blum is giving M. Night kind of a second chance to redeem himself, and I have faith in it. But the trailer was just kind of so-so. It was semi-creepy, but as far as the Jason Blum movie goes, it's not one of the ones I'm really too excited about. I'm more excited for like Insidious 3, and one of the trailers in front of Unfriended was The Gallows. That looks kind of cool. So this was not my favorite one to look forward to this year, but Jason, I respect you, man. Like, I will pretty much watch anything you produce. I am behind on a couple of them though, because you release one like every month. It's hard to catch up. But yeah, The Visit was okay. But I hope it's back to M. Night's form, back to that horror suspense. So we'll see. Next trailer is Tomorrowland, and this is the second trailer. All this trailer was, and I honestly don't want to spoil anything. I don't even want to describe it. I want you guys to go in this thing blind. It shows a scene from the movie, and it shows like the slick style of it. It shows the tension. It shows the action. It shows a lot of it to where, like, it doesn't just show a lot of it, but like, it shows a lot of like the way the movie's going to be, to where like you're sold within this trailer, because it's a scene with George Clooney and the main chick, but like it keeps winning me over. Like, every trailer that's coming out for this movie, I've enjoyed, hands down. I've not had any problems with these trailers. Like, they just keep getting better and better, and they're just so intriguing and enticing. It's like a mouth-watering burger. You just want to get your hands on and just bite into it. It looks so juicy, and so it just tempts you, and you really want to see it. So I really like the second trailer to Tomorrowland. So that's all I'm going to say about it. If you are sold on the movie, you don't have to watch it. But if you're not really sold on it, go ahead and watch the trailer. But I really liked it, man. I'm super excited for it. It comes out in May. The second to last trailer that came out was the Fantastic Four trailer. I'm going to touch on it briefly, because it came out actually on Sunday when I got done recording my last podcast. So this trailer I really liked a lot. I liked the first trailer of Fantastic Four, but this one was more of We got to see the interactions between all four of the actors. I love the chemistry between Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller and Kate Mara, and Jamie Bell. I loved all their chemistry. I liked we got to see a little bit more of the story and like how they got their powers and stuff. It just looks really cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good summer, guys. We got Avengers 2 in May. We have Ant-Man in July. We have Fantastic Four in August. It's going to be good. So if you're a fan of Fantastic Four, this trailer will just excite you more. If you were not a fan of the first trailer, you're still a little skeptical, I think this is the trailer that basically was thrown at people to tell people to shut the fuck up, because this one was a fantastic trailer. So I really liked it. I'm looking forward to it. And the last trailer, my favorite one, hands down of the week, Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp, Joel Edgerton, Benedict Cumberbatch. This movie's stacked with people. And it's directed by Scott Cooper, who directed Jeff Bridges to his first Oscar. I believe it was his first Oscar. If not, it was the second, for Crazy Heart. And hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's so gross. I just keep sneezing. I must be coming down with a cold. So even then, I still can't do the Vin Diesel voice. But Scott Cooper directs this. He also directed Out of the Furnace, which all my friends, George McCann, I think Terrence Page, I think they really liked Out of the Furnace, and so I still haven't seen it yet, so I will, guys. Trust me. But Scott Cooper directs this one, and this one, holy shit. Listen, I've always been drinking the Johnny Depp Kool-Aid. That sounded a little gross. I've always been on the Johnny Depp train. Okay, that sounds a little gross. I've always been on Johnny Depp's side. And I really liked his old stuff. I love Blow. I love What's Eating Gilbert Grape, even though Leonardo DiCaprio was the star in that movie. I love Donnie Brasco. I've never seen Ed Wood, but I've heard great things about it. I have not seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but I hear it's a batshit, kooky, insane movie that you just have to see, so I'll check that one out. But Johnny Depp is a really good actor. And what he's gotten himself into ever since fucking Pirates of the Caribbean 1, he's been getting into this like trap of makeup, crazy characters, and we're just not buying it anymore. We're getting sick and tired of it. And I think with the bombing of Mordecai back in January, that solidifies everything I just said. No one went to go see that movie. It bombed so fucking bad. So Johnny Depp is in this one, but he plays Whitey Bulger, and this is based on the gangster in real life. And so he's playing a real life character. He's not playing some made up character in makeup. Even though he is in makeup in this one, he's still playing a real character. I love this trailer. All it shows is Johnny Depp across from another guy at a dinner table, and Johnny Depp excuse me. Johnny Depp's like, what's in this sauce, man? It's really good. And he's like, it's a family secret. And he's like, no, come on, tell me what's in the sauce. And so he tells him, and Johnny Depp goes, but I thought you said it was a family secret. And like at that point, the mood in the room dies. It's like deer in the headlights. Is this guy going to kill me, or is he going to charm me and trick me? It was fascinating. And then the rest of the trailer is just a bunch of clips with him kind of saying, you said it was a family secret. Why would you tell me? Like, it was so amazing. Like, the tension built in with that scene was just ridiculous. Oh, they were talking about fucking barbecue sauce, and it was the most tense thing I've seen all week. So, like, he looks amazing in this, guys. It looks like Johnny Depp is going to go back to his acting form, and I'm super excited to see him get back on that horse. It's going to be awesome. Like, this trailer is he is so creepy. But at the same time, he looks like he could either kill you or he's going to take you out for beers. It's like he's got that flip-flopping, personality to where like he's going to pull this off, man. Like this, I would not be surprised if he was nominated and or won the Oscar for next year, even though it'll probably be a close, tight-knit race between the 5 nominees. I would not be surprised if he was nominated and then won. So, but just from this trailer, I'm super excited to watch Black Mass, based on Whitey Bulger, the notorious gangster played by Johnny Depp. This looks amazing. If you have not seen this trailer, please check it out. I advise you to. It's awesome. So that will wrap up the trailers portion of this podcast. What did you guys think about the trailers this week? What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? Comment in the place where I'll upload my voice and let me know. So let's get into the movie review for this week. Sorry, guys. I'll try to wrap this up. Friggin' sniffling and stuff. It just sounds awful. All right. So I saw one last movie before I was in the hospital, and that was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Now, I did not hear about this movie before January. I did not hear anything about it, but it premiered at Sundance, and it won the jury prize and the audience award, which the jury prize for drama, it's like the highest award you can get. And the movie that won last year was Whiplash, which was my favorite movie of last year. And as of right now, a little sneak preview into the review, this is my favorite movie of that festival, and it's my favorite movie so far this year. As of now, that could all change when I see, I'm seeing Ex Machina, or Ex Mash Emma. I think that's it. Yeah, so anyways, if I see that, that might change. But as of right now, this is my favorite film of the year, hands down. It's based on a book written by Jesse Andrews, and he also wrote the screenplay for this film. And I've always really liked when novelists can write, their books, whatever, and then they can transfer and write a screenplay. But it's not that easy. An example of a good one, Gone Girl, written by Gillian Flynn, who also wrote she also adapted it from her book. And so I felt like I was reading this book, like, on the big screen. Like, that's how amazingly written it was. I really liked her writing style, so it worked. Another case where it doesn't work. The Counselor. Now, The Counselor isn't based on a book, but it is written by an author, Cormac McCarthy, who wrote No Country for Old Men, The Road. He's written some good stuff. That movie was a pile of horse shit. So, I mean, it was all over the place. It wasn't really focused. Like, it just went from, like, setting to setting, and there was really no through line. I absolutely fucking hated that movie. And it's all because of the writing. It was not because of Ridley Scott, the actors. It was because of the story and the way it was put together. And the writing. It was just awful. So, there's many times where it works and many times it doesn't. This one, with Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, it works. I really love the script to this. It is so charming and so funny and so witty, and it feels so authentic and real. It feels like I am placed in this high school with these characters, and I'm going on this journey with them. And I could relate to these characters because I was kind of like that when I was in high school. I was kind of shy and whatnot. I wouldn't really make any friends, and I tried to impress people, but I know people hated me in high school, so like I felt like I connected with these characters more than any other high school adapted movie in like the past 5 years, even though I really love this Spectacular Now and stuff. This one was like the one where I kind of sat back at the end of the movie and I was like, damn, that was like watching a character that I experienced. Like, that's what I experienced in high school, so it was nuts. But it all starts with the script. The script is so great, guys. It is like I said, it is so funny, and it's really fast and sharp. Like, the jokes are like at a mile a minute. And then, like, when it gets to the serious stuff, it's more like slowed down. It allows the characters to breathe, and it allows the actors to breathe in the scene and kind of like really evoke those emotions. And the drama works as well. Like, it's a really good hybrid of comedy and drama. So with the script, it's a nice, floor plan, but then when the director takes it and he creates it into this magical, like, little movie, it just makes the script even like 10 times better, and just the director really focused on how these characters acted and how they spoke and like how they just acted around other people, and like he really concentrated on the characters, and he really wanted to make them seem real and make them seem very relatable, and like you can grasp towards these characters and you can really hone in on what they're going through. And I really commend the director for doing that. And the movie is directed by Alfonso Gomez Rejon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, sir, if you're listening to this podcast, did you talk to Wes Anderson before you shot the movie? Because this movie is so colorful, and it's very strategically placed and framed for each shot, and this cinematography is also a character within itself because it also evokes the emotions of what's happening on between the characters, kind of like inside and what they're feeling and stuff. But the way the camera pivots and moves and stuff, it was exactly like a Wes Anderson movie where it's like that fast, quick, moving from left to right or right to left, like, and just that swift motion. It reminded me of a Wes Anderson movie, and so it was gorgeous to look at. And it was really colorful. It was really poppy with the dialogue and stuff. And I could relate to these characters. So the director hit the nail on this head. And I really like the fact, like I said, the biggest compliment is making these characters seem real and something like some of them that we could relate to. Because Alfonso, I related to the main character. And I was just kind of floored that I was pretty much like that in high school. So, yeah, so that's what I got to say about the directing. Hold on, guys. Oh, shit. Hold on. I thought I was about to sneeze. Wow. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I guess you guys are, like, witnessing my downfall, into a cold. Like, this is, like, interesting. Anyways, that's what I got to say about the directing. The acting is out of this world. The main character, me, in the title, is played by Greg, who is the actor plays him as Thomas Mann. The dying girl is Rachel, and she's played by Olivia Cook. And then Earl is played by R.J. Seiler. And these three kids have some of the best chemistry in the entire movie. And it was really great to watch their interactions. And like I said, when the comedy was happening, the editing was so fast with their dialogue, it made it seem so much funnier, and they had great chemistry. But then when it would get to more of the dramatic stuff, the camera would stay on a shot for like a very long time. There's one shot where, Olivia Cook is in the forefront, Thomas Mann's in the back, and they're having this conversation on, her cancer or whatnot, and he's kind of like far in the background, and like I said, the cinematography is like a character evoking emotion. Well, like she's in the foreground, and like he's in the back behind her, and it's almost like she's putting him in the back of her mind to try to forget him. Like there's just little shots like that, like they just go, wow, it just makes the scene even better. And like for that scene, it stays on that shot for like 5 to 10 minutes, and like you can see the actors really get into their characters and just really just kind of dive in there and just really just hit that emotional core inside of all of us. Like I said, it's really fast when it's funny, but then when it gets to more dramatic stuff, it's more of like, it'll stay on a shot longer, and it'll allow the actors to kind of breathe a little bit and really showcase their talents. And so, the acting is out of this world. The chemistry is amazing between all three actors, and I gotta say this. R.J. Seiler, if you are listening to this, you are my favorite fucking character, okay? Earl was awesome. And when you watch this kid on screen, like, it's like he's been acting for years, and then when you find out that this was his first movie, it's like, I don't fucking believe you, man. Like, as soon as the director said that, he was like, this is RJ's first movie. I was like, no way. This kid's got charisma, and he had wisdom throughout the entire movie, and he was the grounded character that kind of like kept everyone sane. And he really told it like it was. He was brutal, he was honest, he did not give two flying shits, because he knew that you can't dance around stuff like that. You have to look it straight in the face and tell it like it is, because that's the only way it's going to get resolved. And I just love his motives. I love his character. Earl was definitely my favorite. R.J. Seiler, you're awesome, buddy. I cannot wait to watch this movie again just for your performance. Olivia Cook, that plays the dying girl, she is fantastic. The story, like, I don't want to spoil anything. The story is basically Rachel. She's got cancer. Greg and Earl go to hang out with her, and they make amateur films on the side, and so they make her a movie. That's basically all I'm going to say. Like, seriously, if you want to go just watch a nice surprise for the year, please just go in there blind, because it's just one of those movies where I don't want to spoil anything. I want you guys to experience it for yourself. But as far as like the other actors go, John Bernthal's in it. He plays like the teacher that teaches them in one class. You have Connie Britton. You have that plays Greg's mom. Nick Offerman that plays Greg's dad. You have Molly Shannon who plays Rachel's mom. And just like the kids, the parents were super relatable too. Like, I don't have any children or anything, but like, I could see my parents in those roles. I could see them when I was a kid acting just like that. And I thought all the adults, just like the kids, were well developed. Everyone had good arcs. Like, it just... Greg's parents were just kind of there, but they were there to give him advice and stuff, and they were important to the plot. But I thought Molly Shannon playing Rachel's mom was fantastic. Like, she played this alcoholic, and she was divorced, and her child was getting cancer, and like, it was really hard on her, and like, she was drunk half the time because she just doesn't want to deal with reality. And I found that like super realistic, and it's like, I could see parents just like that. So, and Molly Shannon was fantastic. So, just like the kids and the adults, super relatable. The acting was out of this world. Cinematography, like I said, is shot so cleanly. I love the camera movements. I love the dolly shots, the tracking shots. I love the way this thing is framed up. It's so quirky and so beautiful to look at. At the same time, while this story is going on, it just adds like that extra layer that you want in that rich, decadent cake. You have the great acting and the great story, but when you have the visuals that are just kind of like, they kind of grab the eye and just really just glue on there, like, it makes it even better. Like I said, it's a character that, they evoke the emotions as the characters are kind of going in the scene. Like, just the way everything's framed up and stuff, you can tell that the director purposely did that. So it's fantastic. So I love the cinematography. It's colorful. It's bright. It's swift. It's shot very well, guys. Like, I felt like I was watching a novel, which is great because it really captured like the spirit of the novel. So I have not read an ounce of this novel, but just the way it was shot and the way it was cut, I kind of felt like I was reading a book. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I actually really dug that. So cinematography, yeah, it's good. Editing wise, this movie is an hour and 40 minutes long. I did not feel it dragged once. I was so engaged with these characters because they were super relatable. I loved the humor. I loved the drama. I actually really liked the way it ended. I loved everyone's arcs. It was just a nice, well-rounded story. It just had the right pace and the right rhythm. And like I said, when it was funny, it was funny. It was going at 100 miles an hour. When it was dramatic and it was holding back a little bit, even with the long, drawn-out shots, I still didn't feel it drag. I was so enticed in what the characters were saying because I was like, I felt like I was watching a documentary from my high school days. So, editing-wise, the pace and rhythm are out of this world. With that being said, I have not done it this year yet, and I'm going to do it for this movie. Guys, this is the very first movie I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. Like I said, to wrap it up, it was funny, it was charming, it was real, it hits you in its emotional core, like, it grabs your heart. And it makes you feel warm and fuzzy, but kind of sad and depressing, but also more appreciative on life. And I really liked it, guys. It was a complete movie. I did not find anything wrong with it. And that could just be me on this high right now from it. But I really, really, really fucking love this movie. Fox Searchlight, when you release this in June of this year, get prepared because you're about to have a major hit on your hands. People are going to see this movie. They're going to talk about it. This thing is going to be nominated for a couple Oscars, I believe. I think it could have adapted screenplay and maybe supporting actors. But other than that, probably nothing much more than that. Maybe Best Picture. But I might just be, kind of shooting my load, the proverbial load, basically. But Fox Searchlight, bravo, man. You guys have a hit on your hands. This was, like I said, I think it was a flawless movie. It was just a well-rounded movie. Please go see this when it comes out. I think June 12th, 2015. Let me double-check that. Yes, June 12th, 2015. It should be opening everywhere. Cast, crew, congratulations. Like, I really liked it. And Thomas Mann plays the main actor, and it was so weird to see him in this movie because the last thing I saw him in was Project X when he was getting drugged out of his mind and partying. So, huge departure from Thomas Mann, but I really liked it. And guys, I like Project X, but like, this is the movie that you want to be known for, obviously. So, Thomas, man, you killed it. And little story. When I was standing in line for the movie, there was a nice lady in front of me, and she was like, "Do you know Thomas Mann?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's from Project X. I really like that movie." And she's like, "I'm his aunt." And so we were actually talking about Thomas Mann in Project X. I was like, "So did you like it?" And she's like, "I never finished it," because she doesn't want to see her little nephew partying and drinking and smoking and stuff. Understandable. I'm assuming my parents are the same way. I highly doubt they would want me to see me in that type of movie, even though they support the hell out of me. I love you guys. I do some crazy stuff, and they support me. But it's just really strange to hear the aunt talk about Thomas when he was a child and stuff. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I got to meet Thomas Mann's aunt at the Dallas International Film Festival premiere of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. So that was kind of cool. So little side story ended. So guys, that's my review of this very just beloved movie that I'm going to cherish for a very long time. I highly enjoyed it. And guess what, guys? This will be my top 10 for the year. No ifs, ands, or buts. Unless 10 movies blow it out of the water, I can see it at least getting in one spot. Whether it be top 5, bottom 5, don't know. I just know that this will be on there for sure. So that's my review of this film, guys. Have you guys even heard of this movie, or are you excited to see it now after I told you about it? It comes out in June. Are you going to go see it right away? Are you going to wait until it hits DVD, or are you going to wait for it until it gets some Oscar buzz? Let me know in that place. Is where I pull my voice. As you can tell, my voice is going out. Wow, I'm actually getting a cold right here in front of you guys. You saw my progression downwards. So, box office results for the weekend. First, Little Boy and the Water Diviner. They both came out this weekend, and they both got 13th and 14th place. Ouch. Water Diviner's got Russell Crowe in it. Little Boy's another Christian-based film. That's rough, man. All right, so here are the top 5 box office results for the weekend. I'm also going to tell you what Avengers Age of Ultron has made overseas, because they did open in 41 territories, I believe, overseas, and then it opens this Friday in the States here, but I'll tell you how much it made overseas. But it's not going to be in the top 5s, but I'll tell you the numbers after. Number 5, Unfriended with $6.2 million. Right now it's made $25 million domestically and $55,000 foreign. So it's made $25 million, a little over worldwide. Doesn't list the budget, but I'm assuming since it's Jason Blum, little side note again. Me and my roommate Kevin, we went to go see the movie, and before the movie played, there was 7 or 8 trailers. Half of them were Jason Blum productions. We had The Gift, The Gallows, Sinister 2, and The Visit. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn, Jason, we're already watching one of your movies, and you're advertising 4 of them. This guy's a fucking workaholic, and I fucking adore him for that. Shit. Jason, I want to come work for you. Let me come work for Blumhouse, please. Please. God, that'd be so cool. That'd be really cool to actually work for that production company. So, if you are listening to us, Mr. Blum, my name is Chase Lee, and I will be an asset to your company. Especially with my cold. Number 4 is Home with $8.3 million. Right now, it's made $153 domestically and $299 million worldwide. So, it's about $1 million shy from hitting that 3 on a budget of $135. Double that $270 to break even. So they're kind of in the profit territory right now, but it's not by much, especially for how expensive it is. So, no. Number 3, if my computer will go, is one of the new films that came out this week, Age of Adeline, and it made $13.3 million. No budget listed, so only numbers here is it's made $13 million domestically. Or, wait, hold on. Yeah, there's no foreign numbers, so it's just $13 million. Number 2 is Plar Blut Moo Coop 2, $15.5 million on a budget of $30 million. Oh, dear God. Domestically, it's made $43 million, and worldwide, $61 million. Guys, look what you're fucking doing. You did it for the first one, now you're doing it for the second one. Shit, man. Like, look at it. Fucking $30 million, and you double that to break even. That's $60 million. It's already made 61. It's made $1 million in profit. What are you doing? Why are you doing that to yourself, America? Why? Guy, it's making profit. Why are you doing that to yourself? Paul Blart, Moo Coop 2 at number 2. Number 1. Oh, sorry, guys. We're almost done. I really apologize for the sniffly. Number 1 is Furious 7. No surprise. With $18 million. Domestically, it's made $320 million. Worldwide, right now, it's at $1.3 million. Oh, holy shit. Wow. Wow. Like, that's so much money. Like, I don't... Let me see what it's doing all-time box office worldwide. Oh, shit. So it passed Iron Man and Frozen. So right now, with $1.3 billion worldwide from Furious 7, it is the 5th highest grossing movie of all time. Now, the 4th one is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and it's got $1.341 billion. So Furious 7 is only $20 million off. Guarantee you it'll probably make that. So do not be surprised if Furious 7 is actually number 4. That's insane, man. Like, good job. I really enjoyed the movie. Fan of the franchise, you should probably go see it. If you're not, stay away from it. But $1.3 billion, not fucking bad, dude. Wow, 5th highest grossing movie of all time. Wow. And then freaking Marvel's Age of Ultron, like, that thing is going to dominate. Like, the first one is sitting at number 3 of all time with $1.5 billion. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because it might push Furious 7 down. But still, number 5 right now? Redonkulous. Fucking redonkulous. So, that will do it for this week's podcast, guys. I want to thank you guys for listening. Like I said, I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me hearing me apologize. I don't want to hear any sniffling or eating or slurping or whatever while I record or listen to podcasts, so I highly doubt you guys do either. I guess I'll take it easy for the next week until next Sunday, which, by the way, you know it's coming. I'm going to do it. Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron movie review will be next Sunday. That will be the podcast, plus news, plus trailers. It's going to be a fucking madhouse. My roommate and I see it at 12 p.m. Central Time on Sunday. It's 2.5 hours, and we'll probably go eat afterwards. So I'll probably record it, I want to say 3:30 or 4 p.m. Central Time. So that's probably when I'm going to record live. I'm going to give you my first initial reactions of it. So super excited about next week, guys. Oh, Age of Ultron, it's finally here. Guys, I'm so much of a comic book movie geek that I fucking bought our tickets 2 months prior. Yeah, I bought our movies in March, or our tickets in March, so that's how fucking nerdy I am, but I cannot wait to talk about that movie next week. So, with that being said, why don't you guys follow me on Spreaker here? Just click that follow button. You get updates when I do these things live and when I post them and whatnot. I'm also on iHeartRadio, so you can find me on there as well. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at ReelChaseLee, REEL, Chaselee, all one word. If you guys want to like my Facebook page to get updates on movie reviews, live shows when I post these things, it's facebook.com/Real Reviews with Chaselee, all one word again. If you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I do music videos, movie reviews, podcasts, short films, web series. There's a bunch of shit on there that will keep your time occupied while you're taking a shit. So that's youtube.com/Shabutnik75, capital S, lowercase h, ABOTNIK 75. And this is actually the first time I've done this in 75 episodes. All 3 of those, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, they're all in the description box below, and you can see the actual information there too. So that will do it for this week's episode, guys. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys listening to this. This is a movie podcast, and hopefully if you're not a movie lover, hopefully I convinced you to be one. So I am Chase Lee. Tune in next week for Age of Ultron review. I want you guys to have a good day, good night, good whatever. If you're on the dump while listening to us or going to work, I appreciate all of you. I love you all. Just, you guys keep it real, man. Keep it fucking real. Like Reel Me In, a movie podcast. I'll see you guys next week.